Oops. Apologies, I'm just using the best code in Sonic Riders DX version 2.0. But this is going to be a little quick tutorial on texture work. Now that you guys have access to custom models and model importing into Sonic Riders and the like, you also need to know how to put the textures for those models into the game. So, I have a baseline file here. This is much the same as the files you guys have extracted to import models. You'll have two. If you're doing boards, this file, 000, with a bunch of zeros at the end. If you've watched the tutorial on models and model imports, you will know that this is the model itself. This file right here is the textures. And in order to extract the textures from this, what you are going to need to do is use the Riders Archive tool. So the same program you use to unpack this has a sister program called the Riders Texture Archive tool. And in order to access that, you download it from the same place, find it, which is here. So we're going to click and drag this onto our command line. We're going to go to our file. We're going to type in extract, source. We can drag this, save path. I'm going to create a new folder in here. And I'm going to drag this texture here. And because this is a GameCube file, I'm also going to type in Big Endian. I should note this tutorial is currently only for GameCube, because the tool we are going to use to deal with the textures does not support PC at this current moment. I will make an update and probably redo this video when it does, but for now, PC is not going to be doable here. So we're going to type that in. We're going to have a bunch of files outputted. They are going to be here along with this file order.txt. Now if you want to know what these textures are, the first thing you should probably do is go onto Google and find the tool you need called Puyo Tools. Okay? You can either download it from the GitHub here, or you can download it from the Game Banana here with, where is it? This download link. Up to you which one you do. But I am going to be using a version that I've had for ages, pretty old. And I am going to use it to have a look at these textures. I don't actually have any textures I want to import, but I will show that after I show you what you're looking at in the first place. So, texture, decode, we're going to add a directory. We're going to copy this, paste it here. We're going to select the folder, and we're going to output it to the same directory as the source. Now we have a bunch of textures in PNG format. So BD15, carpet texture, and these are the 4 textures for silver in this case. Let's say I want to add Pepsi Man, for example. If you are working with boards, and this is important, you need to make sure you keep this carpet texture. You need to make sure that the materials in your model file have a blank one in the first slot to make use of this carpet texture. Otherwise, your magic carpet will look very funky in the game. So, what we are going to do is we are going to delete these files. And then we are going to need to find our own texture. I'm going to just look for a random texture that I can use that can explain my point. This is going to look horrific. I just want to say, but I'm going to replace Silver's body texture with this psychic wave texture. for example. Obviously make sure that your model materials lines up with the amount of textures you have. So if your model has 5 materials, make sure you have 5 or more textures in this file. You'll notice that this file is in PNG, which is very useless. So we are going to need to re-encode this. So the way you do that is by clicking texture, encode. We're going to go for GVR since we're working with GameCube. ext1 compressed, which is the bottom one. Asmit maps, GCIX. I'm going to output this to the same directory as the source. And you click here. And then when you're done, you click run. And it will make a psychicwave.gvr. Okay. Now, what you want to do is in this order.txt file, you want to name your textures according to the textures that you have in the folder. So we have BD15 and Psychic Wave. So we will put BD15 and Psychic Wave in here, and then we are going to save this. Okay. Make sure you remove file extensions. Okay. Now it doesn't matter that these two files are in here, because they are not in order.txt, they will not be packed in your new file. But we are actually ready to pack this new texture archive. And the way to do that is as follows. We're going to use this same tool, which is, excuse me, it is texture archive tool, pack this time, source. So we're going to pack this file. I forgot a spacebar. I'm very smart. Save path, and then we need to give it a file name. Let's call it new textures, big endian. Oh, I'm going to save it in here actually. Let's do this. There we go. So it's going to save it in this folder as a new file called new textures. Here it is. Now, what you want to do is delete the old one, rename this one to 00001, and you're done. Put too many zeros. Oops. But yeah, there you go. That's how you make a new texture archive to support your new model. If you're working with skates, you do not need this BD15 file. It won't show up. You'll probably get another texture for whatever skate you're using. Same with bikes, though I think bikes have 2 textures. Super Hang On has 3 if I remember correctly. Yeah, that's how you repack textures for your new models.